Hey, it's me, your guy. I just wanted to do a quick little video because I've wanted to talk about something for a little bit and now I have the time to talk about it. I have been playing the One Piece card game for about 2 months now. 2 months. And I got some stuff to tell you. It's a great game. It's a great game. There are three major points I want to bring up in this video of why it's a great game. And there's a couple points I want to bring up to warn you before playing this game. Because there are some things about playing this game that genuinely, if you're not caught up on the anime or the manga even, it looks more to be the anime, to be honest. So I started playing this game because the Blackbeard deck came out. This guy right here, Marshall D. Teach. And yes, I've gotten so into the game, I got Marshall D. Teach in the Black Sound Loader. Because I've geeked out that hard about this card game. My first point about the One Piece card game is the just amount of stuff that's available for not only people who play the game, but for people who play in the tournaments too. For instance, there's usually participation packs for everybody. So you're not just dropping money and getting your ass handed to you for no reason. Two, if you go on the special days that they have events, because the One Piece events, there's usually a bunch of fun stuff. For instance, I just recently did the starter deck tournament, which was one of the greatest ways to enjoy the card game. And they gave you a mat, they gave you a magazine. There was also a special pack for that. It was awesome. And I ended up doing pretty good that tournament. I went 2-2. So, more about the stuff. If you look at some of the products that One Piece has, for instance, they just recently released a product called the Anniversary Collection. Now, if you're lucky, you could get it for a decent price over in America, but in Canada, you can't. Sorry about that spit take. It's one of the first mats I have seen with very cool holo foil. Very cool holo foil. It also comes with a box for your collection. The amount of products that One Piece has, like even the Devil Fruits collection where they have Devil Fruit shaped deck boxes. That's even crazy. And this is my first point. The amount of stuff. But I could drone on about the amount of stuff they have for a while. Here we go with the second point. Interactivity. Now, this is one of the most important points of any card game. That I play. I play Yu-Gi-Oh. I play Pokemon online. I play Magic the Gathering. When you play One Piece the card game, you're more into interaction with your opponent, and there's a lot more stuff you can do than just sitting there getting beaten like a weeble wobble and just coming back up and like, yeah, that's good, I take the damage. Literally though, the mechanics of the One Piece card game are so fair, are very fair. Um, except for one thing that I'm going to bring up later, and I am going to bring it up later. Now, one more major thing about the interactivity is I really like how this game makes you want to think about the interactions that's going on and what might happen. Like, your opponent plays this specific character, now you have to play this specific character. It's not just like my opponent just shit out a whole board. Now I have to think about how to deal with it before they OTK me. I love One Piece's interaction. Now, time for the last thing. I want to talk about the amount of love that surrounds the card game. Because I didn't think a card game would hold so much positivity around it that like it would literally be calling my name, to the point where I have played more One Piece tournaments in the past 2 months than I have Magic the Gathering tournaments or Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments in the past year. The One Piece community is just so welcoming of each other that people are usually very good with like cards. We all just give each other good cards for like nothing at points, it seems. Like, I just recently put Black Purple Luffy together after putting Blackbeard together mostly on my own. But when I put Black Purple Luffy together, a lot of people were able to help me gather the pieces to make the deck complete. And I did. I got a second One Piece deck that my friends in the One Piece community helped me build. And that's love. That's like platonic love right there. I love that One Piece just inspires so much camaraderie. I have a Discord I'm a part of with a bunch of One Piece people, and it's just nothing but positive vibes. One Piece, the card game, is positive vibes. What can I say? Now I guess I'll get to the kind of points of the card game. And as you've noticed, I have done so much to not mention anything about the storyline about One Piece in this video. But as you would believe, it does have stuff that pertains to the storyline. And as I said earlier, if you are someone who has only watched a certain up to a certain point in the anime or manga, or has never seen the anime, because I've seen some people who have played the card game and they have not seen the anime. There is a bunch of spoilers in the card game. And what I mean by there's a bunch of spoilers in the card game, I mean like that Luffy deck I just told you about. That entire deck is a spoiler for one of the biggest things in One Piece. There is a deck called Vegapunk. One of the biggest spoilers in One Piece. Like, literally, so much of this card game just spoils shit for you. Even special editions of certain cards just spoils things for you. And, yeah. I haven't seen it take away from the fun of the game, because I've seen people who are like, oh, I don't know who Vegapunk is, but yeah. And you don't want to explain anything to them either, the people who aren't caught up, because you want them to experience it for the first time. You really want them to experience it for the first time. Now, I'm going to bring up the negative. Just like every card game, there is a couple of toxic cards. There is quite a few toxic cards and toxic cards that have been throughout the card game's history. Some I have been glad to have avoided. For instance, Sakazuki. I am so glad I missed Sakazuki. That sounds like an unfun format. What can I say? But in this format right now, we got a few cards that are absolutely skulldoggery. I'm talking about Gum Gum Giant, Gravity Blade, and Big Mom. Big Mom's pretty toxic. So that's it for the negatives about it. I'm gonna come back with some pros, because now it's time to get into the high points of the One Piece card game once more before I turn this off. I just want to say, if you are a fan of One Piece, you're going to enjoy this card game so much, because there is so much to the card game geared towards all of your favorite characters. So say you want to play Marshall D. Teach, there's like 3 different Marshall D. Teach themed card sleeves up for grabs. There's so many things up for grabs that is themed toward, like, there's so much for your enjoyment in this card game that Sure, it's okay to put up with a couple toxic cards here and there. The rest of the game is fun. The rest of the game is fun. I have never found a game this enjoyable since when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering. It brings me back. It brings me back. I have nothing much more to say about this. Yes, I kind of presented this in an essay format. Yeah, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. Yeah, I've been meaning to put this video out there for a while. But it's a lot better I do it now. After I've had my experiences. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to drink your water.